How did you get involved in this? I mean, what a phenomenal story Silicon Knights is, and it actually did start in your basement?
It did. I was doing my undergraduate in computer science at Brock University, and we've always wanted to make video games, so myself and my partner at the time started making this video game while we were going through school, and after I graduated and was partway through my master's, we finished it, got it published worldwide, and we started looking around to see if there's an industry, so we flew down to California, saw the incredible boom that was about to happen, so we founded Silicon Knights back in 1992.
Can you believe your success in that time?
Yeah, you know, it's certainly where we've come now. I wouldn't have been able to guess. It's certainly really exciting. Would I have guessed we're 165 people about to grow a lot more? Probably not, but the fact that we've been able to create games and, you know, entertain people has been very exciting and rewarding. It's something that's really been the dream, something we've always wanted to do.
Okay, Christina, how did you get involved in this as a blogger, as a writer, what does it mean to be a professional gamer?
Well, basically, I just started blogging like a lot of people are. It's a huge phenomenon. People just going and they start what they call their online journal. And at the time, I decided to start writing about video games. You know, the console wars were just starting, the Wii, the PS3, the Xbox 360 were all starting to come out, and it was, you know, big time in the industry. So I just started kind of writing some lists out there, and at the time, I was focusing more on the female gamers out there. And I had wrote a few lists that caught a couple of people's attentions. Next thing I know, I'm working for a video game website called Destructoid.com, and it's a daily news blog, and it's received quite a bit of attention in the last 2 years. Originally, it was just started because the gentleman who wanted to, who started it, wanted to get into E3, but E3 is a trade-only, a tradesperson-only event. So basically, if you want to get into it, you either have to work in the video game industry, or you have to be a media member that talks about video games. So they started Destructoid and got in. Next thing they know, though, everyone really liked the site, liked the idea of a guy walking around in a robot helmet, which is our mascot, Mr. Destructoid. And
not Ms. Destructoid?
No, well, there is a Ms. Destructoid, but she doesn't have a helmet.
Okay.
So she's a writer on the site, though, and a very good friend of mine.
Now, this wasn't even thought of as a job or an industry, what, a decade and a half ago?
That's right. Yeah, you know, it's interesting because the video game industry is shattering so many...
Christine? I don't want to stop you. Yeah,
well, it's shattering so many preconceived notions. I know one of the big concerns in the government and education today is women in science. At Silicon Knights, as an example, there is a predominantly significant number more of women with computer science degrees, with art degrees, working within technology. And when you look at sort of the decline in just people in general going into computer science or women in science, video games is actually turning that trend around, which I think is fantastic. You know, from our standpoint, we're looking between 20 to 35% of Silicon Knights are women.
Is there a difference, Mira, in the way women's and men's brains or bodies work when it comes to applications like this?
Well, it's hard to say on an individual basis, but on a gender basis, they often speak in psychology about differences in language skills being stronger for women and spatial skills being stronger for men. And so, classically, as you say, a lot of men and boys have been involved with playing video games, and perhaps with getting more girls in there younger, they can develop some more of their spatial skills as well. And as I said, on an individual basis, that's hard to say. Some girls are great at math and, you know, other boys aren't. But in general, that's the sort of thing that's talked about.
I want to get back to Christine now. Okay, you're bowling now.
Yeah.
And
she's good.
Yeah,
right.
You just hit a strike there, lady. Good for you. Talk about women and the right side of the brain development. So now sports, that's just one aspect of the whole Wii system, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there are multiple games. For example, there was a game that came out when it first hit the store shelves, Rayman Raving Rabbits, and it's a bunch of mini games.
Oh, I'm hearing that's a huge hit. Is that right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's quite a funny little game, and again, it's very interactive. Every game you have to do something different, whether it's you know, there's a separate unit here that you can actually plug in, and it actually acts as a device on its own. So for example, with one of the Rayman games, you're pumping carrot juice into these little rabbits.
Carrot juice, good thing.
Yeah,
good thing,
yeah.
Mira.
Into the little rabbits' goggles so that you cause them to fall down.
So let's call that one up for our next segment when we come back.
Okay.
We'll do a little bit of that. And also after the break, a preview of Silicon Knight's new Too Human as video games come of age and we're willing to pay the price. You're watching Straight Talk, the Playful Edition. We'll be right back.
All of the units are gone already, so we're heading home. Try again another time.
To be honest, we don't know when they're coming in. We advertised this week. I'm assuming somebody at our head office knew that Nintendo was going to release something close to the last shipment, and then in it comes, and we just prepare for it as best we can.